I've always wanted to know if cheap coilovers are actually usable on UK roads, so I've got myself the cheapest one I could find for my £0 Clio. This is a £167 coilover on a £0 Clio. If you watched the last videos, you would know that the Clio passed its MOT, and I did say something about the suspension being really bouncy. So I decided to go budget, and I got this B1 coilovers from MaxPeedingRods. Let's be clear, this is not a sponsored video. I did get a discount for them, that's why it's £167. I think the real price is about £197. But still, if you're me, you're not going to go and spend so much money on coilovers, way more than what the car is worth. Like, this is a budget build really, so yeah, I'm going to be 100% honest about how they actually feel, what the driving is like, and, you know, if it's worth it, if it's not worth it. But open-minded. Let's be open-minded going into this project. So yeah, we've got 2 front struts and springs. We've got 2 rear struts. We've also got rear springs with the rear adjuster as well. And we also have instruction manual. Who reads instruction manuals anyway? We'll figure it out how it goes. Lastly, we also have coilover wrenches. Let's take a good look at how the car sits right now. Phew, you can fit like your full hand inside here. The gap is massive. Jesus Christ. I can even put my shoe inside it. Let's not even talk about this. Let's not talk about this. Like, look at that. Don't want to bore you with the whole process of getting all of this out, but in like less than 60 seconds, the whole suspension is coming out, and then we can check the differences between the both of them. There's basically almost no difference that I can tell, aside from the fact that, of course, we have our rings there for adjusting the height. That's how basic this coilover is. It comes with a fixed damping. Nothing else is adjustable aside from the height. When I opened this up, honestly, I was expecting maybe, like, in terms of build quality, for it to be a little bit shabby. But honestly, it looks solid. I don't know how, but it looks really solid. And I got new top mounts to go with because, like I said, this one was hold the top mount as well. It's been there for like God knows how long, and exactly, you know where I got it from. So basically, let's just transfer this over here, put the new top mount in, and then set our baseline so we know exactly where we're starting from, and then we can keep adjusting as we go. Rear springs is out now. This is the old one, and to be fair, I think the only thing I got from the scrapyard that wasn't too bad was this strut, because it still has gas in it and it still works properly, so I give that to them. But there's not much difference in terms of this and this, aside from the height. Of course, I only had one rubber isolator here, so I cut up a hold hose and then put that over this, so this doesn't sit on the rear subframe and cause like knocks. I mean, that's what the channel is about, basically using the best out of what you can. So this is a budget build. We're not doing anything crazy. And for the top mounts as well, I've used the rubber seat that comes with the stock one, put that on top of this, and I will do the same thing for that here. First impressions, I've been driving this now for like a week, and straight away I could tell that the car feels much more firmer and planted on the road. I'm not even surprised. New dampers, new springs, so I kind of expected that. I'm not even chasing the stance right now when it comes to this right now, because we've got 15 inches wheels and I have plans of you know, finding something maybe like 16 or 17 inches wheels, and then we can actually chase distance. In town, it's actually acceptable, not luxury by any standards, but it's a nice drive. It feels okay. There's much more feedback from the handling. I feel almost everything, good or bad. I feel every bump, I feel every grain on the road. You know, I get much more feedback from the tires. On B roads, it handles better in corners. I think it's much more improved compared to like the dead suspension. It actually hugs the corners as much as it wants. You don't feel like you're gonna tip over when you're going around the corner, and it's not floaty, it's not bouncy. It's literally like rigid on the road. So fitment wise, I ended up using the stock rear dampers because the MaxPeedingRod dampers wouldn't work with my top mount. I'm gonna reach out to MaxPeedingRod and see if there's anything I can do in regards to the top mount. I'll put an image by the side just so you get what I'm saying. I couldn't film that night because it was getting really late and I really wanted to get this over and done with. But yeah, that's the only fitment issue I had. Every other thing was bolt in, bolt on, no stress whatsoever. Let's be real, this is not KW or BC Racing. You know, it's a 167 pound coilover, and for a budget build, it does the job really well. That's all I can say. That's all. The car sits better now, it drives better, it feels better, you know, it handles better on the road. For a budget build, that's kind of the point, you know. you know, that's kind of the point. I'll keep this on the car for a while, you know, see how it goes. In terms of how long they will last, I don't have an answer yet, but surely I'll definitely update you guys if anything does go wrong or if there are any issues. But for now, there are no knocks, there are no bangs, there are no nothing. Everything's just as good as you can get for 167 pounds. I'm happy with the build. I'm happy with the suspension. I'm happy with that. But you let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, if you've enjoyed watching today's video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the hype button. You know the vibe. Don't be a stranger. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.